Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Here's the live stream here. Let me see if I can go ahead and get this chat up. We got here right here. Hold on, there we go. Just give it a second. Perfect. All right, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Thursday morning live stream. I had wild hair this morning to do this. I'm off work today. I'm getting ready for the Suspicious Observers podcast tomorrow. Just getting a script done. Talking points, questions. I'm sitting here enjoying so what I got, the Rishi Lion's Mane Cordyceps coffee, the same thing with the cacao, and then regular coffee on top. Getting ready for this day. So a couple things I want to talk about. I caught Rogan's podcast talking about the Chat GPT bot. I actually had another friend of mine bring it up to me, Marlon Fellows. Shout out to you, sir. Kind of brought it up to me yesterday before I did my Wednesday show on Jordan Peterson. Kind of got to listening to it a little bit, and I really feel that's a creepy thing right there. I think the transhumanist agenda is, in all honesty, a fallen agenda. I think what we really need to start working on is we need to start working on ascension through a more natural route, is what I would say at this point, because I feel that there is a metaverse out there, a real one, an organic metaverse that we can have access to, that we can consciously get through natural means. So I really, AI, a lot of people are about it. A lot of people think it's cool. You know what I mean? I personally feel that AI can be a detriment to us, 100%. So I'm going to look more into this Chat GPT bot. The number one thing I wanted to talk about today, I'm using a new software for the live streaming, and I'm using my original software for actually the recorded podcasts. So we're going to, this is kind of a test run on the new software as well. We're going to see how it turns out. And if it's not better than my old software, we're going to go ahead and stick with that. So living in the DC area for 25 years, 27 years, it is a very weird place. It always has been. The energy there is very dark, very muddy. The politicians who live in Great Falls and Langley, Virginia, and go to different places in town and things like that, especially being an electrician working in DC, I've seen a lot of weird things, especially in the early morning hours. One particular story I like to talk about. When I was I think it was either a third year apprentice at this point, I was working in DC with one company. We would start at 5 a.m. And we'd always do that because the office people would come in at 9. And we had to have our drilling done and all of the noisy stuff done and all that before they got in, so they could have their quiet time in their offices. So there was one morning in particular I recall that I was driving in. I was driving by the Washington Monument. Now, it's been a while. I think it was on 395 when it comes and it dumps into D.C. I was driving in. It was about 4:30 in the morning. And I looked over towards the Washington Monument, and it appeared to be this group of people in a circle. And they were all cloaked out in weird-looking garbs, and they were holding candles and torches and things like that. And it kind of looked like they were doing some kind of ceremony. And that was a very bizarre thing to me. I've seen this a couple of times in a couple of different places throughout DC. So, being in the trades, being an electrician in the DC area, you run into a lot of people and you do a lot of projects. And sometimes you get caught up in top secret projects. And there's a couple of electricians who I worked with. I'm not going to name names. But when their NDAs expired from previous projects, they were able to talk about it. Now, the whole underground tunnel system that's going through the United States, the fabled, quote unquote, underground tunnel system that's going through the United States, is not a conspiracy. It is a very real thing. These men that I worked with actually worked on it. And, we're looking at places that have, in these tunnels, gas stations, grocery stores, things like that. I know, it sounds a little far-fetched and it sounds hard to believe. But, when we're talking about anecdotal evidence, this is one thing I think a lot of people dismiss. And I think, I'm going to bring this to the table, to this incident. It's not too off topic when it comes to what I'm talking about here. So we talk about the Fatima incident. So what was the Fatima incident? The Fatima incident happened in the early 1900s in Portugal. And there were these kids who were apparently getting visited by the Virgin Mary. I think it was something else. And one day this Virgin Mary apparition came and told them to bring people to the place that they were meeting. And a very bizarre, strange incident occurred. Now, this is what I talk about why we need to look at anecdotal evidence, because you're looking at a large group of people who all experienced and saw something. They have no reason to lie. You cannot take that many people